Welcome to BBB, the Beauty Business Builder. This is the leading podcast in beauty business development. If you're ready to feel unstoppable and take your beauty business to the next level, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. You can connect with Essjay Hartshorn on social media and subscribe to Essjay's YouTube channel. Welcome to BBB.
Hi guys, want to do a little bit of a video about myself, just my history, so you know who I am, why I'm here, and a little bit about me. So I think it's quite important to know my experience. So present day, I'm 37, I've got 2 kids, recently separated. That's me right now. I am a predominantly known for permanent cosmetics, skin aesthetics, and then the last 2 years been working on the coaching program, which I now starting to do 70% of this and 30% of the other. But I still enjoy my clients. I still like to touch and treat my clients. So that's still a good place for me. But I do like that balance of the coaching and the beauty treatments. But I'll take you back. So just to kind of explain a little bit of what I'm about, I'm the type of person that I didn't do well at school. I didn't enjoy school. I was far too vocal. I had bigger ideas. I wanted to, do different things. I wasn't academic. I hated learning. I don't think I've ever read a full book if it's not related to business or coaching. Now I read, but I'm not even a full storybook in my life. So school wasn't for me. So I was so eager to get into work. I wanted to be a firewoman. That's what I wanted to be. That was my big dream, to be a firefighter, or go on Big Brother. There was a time that I was applying a lot for Big Brother. I just wanted the money, I think. But yeah, that's what I wanted. I ended up falling into beauty. And the reason why I say falling is I had to kill a year's time before I could apply for the fire service. And I just wanted to get a job and earn some money. My dad wouldn't let me. He says, "You're going to college, find something." And beauty seemed easy. It seemed easy. So I did beauty and I enjoyed it. It wasn't easy, but I actually did enjoy that socializing aspect. A very social person. So I enjoyed that socializing aspect with clients. But then after that, I then applied for the fire. Didn't work out for me. Long story short, eyesight not good. So then it was a case of, right, I've got to get a job. What do I do? But I wasn't a good employee. I really wasn't a good employee because I had my own views and my own ways and how I wanted to do things. So that's when I then opened up my first business. I had a little tiny business at 17 in the back of a gym, which then led me on to a bigger salon when I was 19. So I got in my own debt. I believe it was about a 12 grand loan at the time to open up a beauty salon. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Being in control of my own money, hiring people, training people. I loved the status of the business as well. I loved being a business owner at 19. But I worked really, really hard. Now, fast forward a few years, I was doing it. Money was coming in, it was paying the way, but I was not very well educated with money, okay? I was still the type of person that got the money each month, bled the account dry, spent it, earned it again, bled it dry. I didn't save much. I didn't have long-term plans. I did. I wanted to have loads of money in the biggest salon ever, but I didn't actually put structure into place on how to get there. I just wanted it. And I was good at what I did. I was good at my treatments and I trained my staff well and they was good at what they did. I then later became interested in permanent makeup. And the reason why I was interested in permanent makeup is because it earned more money. That's it. I loved eyebrows and I'm like, okay, I can earn more money doing permanent makeup. So I did that. I trained in that. I spent the money on the training. I trained in that and I started getting my staff to almost run the salon while I was going all over everywhere doing the permanent makeup. But it got to a stage where the beauty salon was struggling, whether I wasn't managing the staff correctly, so they wasn't obviously bringing in the money like I did, or whether my focus on the permanent makeup was I was earning more money doing that. And it got to a stage where I almost had two businesses, and one business was bailing out the other. So my money from the permanent makeup was paying wages for that month. And it was almost like, this is not working. Now, I always remember, this is only really come back to me recently. And it's come back to me recently because of the lockdown. Now, I was afraid or reluctant, let's say reluctant, not afraid. I won't say afraid at all. I was reluctant to change. So when I had the business, Facebook came out, okay? Facebook came out, people were starting to get on social media. And I was reluctant to accept that was the way forward. I'm like, no, we don't need it. They can ring up, passerbys. We don't need that. We don't need social media. A new nail product came in, gel polish came in. Look how big gel polish is now. No. We varnish really well. We don't need it. This is fine. And I did not want to change. I wanted it my way that I learnt, and that was going to work for me. Now, looking back now, that was the reason my business failed, because I did not adapt. I did not adapt to the changes. I didn't adapt to what was happening in the industry at that time. You know, new salons that open now, straight away you get a Facebook page, an Insta page, and you get the all the range of products. But those businesses, some of those that are not watching this are reluctant to change to the new online digital world that we're moving into in terms of, you know, more virtual. So and I think that is what has made me change so rapidly during this pandemic, because last time I didn't. And last time, with me having the permanent makeup and the beauty salon and reluctant to embrace and accept that the beauty industry was evolving because Botox was becoming popular as well. I'm like, no one needs Botox. They can use this cream. This cream is perfectly fine for wrinkles. They don't need that. I was so reluctant to broaden my knowledge, to get my creative juices flowing, to embrace all these new things. I was so reluctant because I knew best. And that, I think, it's only really triggered recently. But I think that must have always been in the back of my mind, because as soon as this pandemic hit, I'm like, fuck you, COVID. You are not going to dictate me not coming out of this. So that is what gave me the time and energy to completely diverse my business. Obviously I've been working on this for a long time, but it's magnified it. You know, in March it was magnified for me. So going back to the salon, I then got rid of the salon, and it was a recession at that point. I think I was about 20, I don't even know, mid-20s maybe, was hitting a recession. It would have been mid-20s, because we seem to always have a recession or a pandemic every 10 years. We have a 10-year cycle, don't we, really? So at that point, I couldn't sell the business. I just shut the doors. I'm like, that's it. I'll sell what I've got, shutting the doors. I'm going fully fledged into permanent makeup. And I did that, and I loved it. I was earning some really good money. I was traveling from salon to salon, really wasn't good on time management and looking at the ways to use the money. You know, I'd go to Manchester and do 2 clients, I'd go to Leeds and do another client. I wasn't very organized with that. I didn't have the planning. I'm not a planner. So I found that I probably was spending far more money than I should have been to do what I wanted to do. And then I realised that I don't need to do all this travelling. I'm good at what I do. People can come to me. So I kind of brought it all back in and kind of pulled back on my clinics. So it meant that my expenses were a lot lower, but my earnings were so much higher. And I've earned some very good money doing permanent makeup, but I wasn't saving anything. Not much. You know, I wasn't that type of person that would put away 10% and then reinvest it. I do all that now. My goodness, I am a saving freak. But back then I didn't. And then as I kind of got into, I would do the permanent makeup, more people out there was doing that. So I then decided to start doing a bit of skin aesthetics. And I really, really enjoyed it. But it wasn't until a couple of years ago where I came across a coach. He's called Richard Crawford Small. He's got the aesthetic entrepreneur business. And I kind of realised at that point that I'm fucking talented. I have a lot of knowledge from my history of my salon, how I pivoted and changed how I evolved into the permanent makeup, how I didn't pivot and change like I should have done, and how that probably was the failure of the business. And also the years of experience in business. I've never worked for anybody from the age of 17. I've always earned my own money, okay? And I thought I've got a lot more to offer, which made me start looking at business coaching people in the beauty industry to evolve, to expand, to diversify. And it was all these different ideas I wanted to start putting into some kind of training, into the podcast was something that I wanted to launch. I launched that in February, I believe, February-March time. And all these things started coming to me. And then, but still taking a back burner. I didn't plan. It's kind of like I get these ideas and then go 100 miles an hour and don't tend to plan. And obviously because we're in an industry where we exchange time for money, I'd allocate time to work on the business, and then a client would want their eyebrows done. I'm like, yeah, fuck office work, I'll earn 400 quid doing a set of eyebrows. And then the same thing the week after. Then before you know it, I've not done anything that I wanted to do. I've not worked on my business at all. I've worked in it. And I think that's a massive fail for all businesses, not just beauty. We work so much in the business that we don't come out of it, look at the business and think, right, what the hell am I doing? Where is this business going? What do I want it to do? So, and then obviously, February, March time, obviously this whole pandemic started, and I'm like, that's it. I have got the chance. I have got the chance to turn this around, to get my creative juices flowing, to diversify, to expand, to pivot, to get everything that is in my head, get it on paper, get planning, control my finances, look at my long-term goals, get strategizing, and fucking do it. So that's what I did. And I would say within 1 month, by mid-April, when a lot of people were still dwelling and not accepting what was happening and doing what I did way back when I was 25, 27, whatever it may be, they were doing that, okay? But because I'd already done that and realised that that was not the right thing to do, this time it was like the day after lockdown, I had my plan. I knew exactly where the hell I was going, and I'm sticking to that plan. So that is what got me into the coaching side. So creating these podcasts and getting some really good feedback, and then obviously the uncertainty of the hands-on beauty personal care industry completely evolved me in doing this elevator workshop. This is what has got me here today. So, and obviously in the lockdown as well, I'm recently separated. So I've had my fair share of personal shit that's happened as well, but that still has not diverted me, I don't know whether that's the correct word. It's still not diverted me from my plan. And the reason why it hasn't is because my long-term goal is there. It's 10 years away, it's 20, 10 and 5 years away, and I know what I need to do to get there. So obviously it's been traumatic, separating, it's not a nice thing to go through, but I'm very focused on me, my business and my plan and my future. So yeah, that's a little bit about my history. That's a bit about my history. And I really hope you've got a story to tell, as well, of where you've come from and why you're doing what you're doing. And we're going to touch on your why as well in this, because I think it's very important to know why you do what you do, and that will obviously link with your long-term goals as well. But I wanted to have a little bit of a talk to you and just tell you where I've come from, so you can probably look at me and think, yeah, you know what, I can relate to that. I've gone through that, and this is where I am now, and I need that help and focus. And I tell you what, in the lockdown, the best thing I had was a coach. The best thing I had was somebody that I was accountable to. I had to touch base with them. I had a really close-knit team in a group that I was in, and having a course, having structure like this has made my business. It's created a completely different path for me, which I'm so excited to go on. So that's a little bit about me. So thank you.